Hello, welcome to Mountain Gym Card Collectibles. We're having a great week so far. So today I want to talk about something that I've noticed. And if you go over the recent gem rate data for the first half of the year, with players that have sold the most, in dollars for the most part, I guess what I have a sense is the fact that there is some hobby burnout when it comes to baseball cards for one reason or another. Now, in my lifetime, chasing baseball rookies has always been one of the best chases of the sports card market typically. But everyone is kind of pushing into the Pokemon fad for now. But eventually the Pokemon fad is going to burn out, just like all fads. And eventually those people will experience, a hobby burnout as well. But my question with the baseball card hobby burnout, why aren't people, spending as much money on rookies, maybe some other big name players? I think it has a lot to do with the way that the United States is structured. For one reason, Americans like to create monopolies. And it really limits, our output of, product to an extent. Now, I pulled this up, I'm sure you likely know this. 1996. What was the first year of Topps Chrome Baseball? 1996, all right? 1996 brought the first release of Topps Chrome product, and with it continued innovation and change that was happening in the hobby at the time. Chrome finished cards were first released in Topps Finest, and this product built off of all that. And, I have some of the Topps Finest cards, and some of those first ones, really were awesome. But then, we get used to this usual release of Topps Chrome every year. They have the licensing, they have the monopoly, and honestly, here we are a long ways past 1996. And I think that they roll it out every year, and I've seen a few channels try to hype it up this year, but even then, I kind of watched some of it. I'm just like, oh, I don't know what's going on here. This is just falling flat on its what. And I'm not sure if it has to do with prices. If you're in the baseball cards, say you want just and I'm at David Adams, just a 2025 Topps Chrome Baseball Hobby Box. If you bought it off David Adams, you're going to pay $324.95. You could buy these 8-box cases, for about $4,849.95. You can buy the 2025 Topps Chrome Baseball Hobby Jumbo Box for $609.95. You can buy the 2025 Topps Chrome Baseball Breaker Delight Box for $709.95. But let's face it, the economy right now isn't exactly booming. Money's tight for a lot of reasons. And I just believe that, this nature of the Topps monopoly, rolling stuff out every year has really burned out a lot of people. Now right here, I'm just going over, some 2025 hitting stats. And I'm just looking for, the first rookie from the class of 2025 that stands out on this list. And, in 10th place, tied with Juan Soto, strangely enough, would be James Wood. He's got 24 home runs for the year. Is there any other rookies that are really standing out Not really. Not on, the kind of the top 24 list here. It's just James Wood. All right. And, there's other players. We all know that Cal Raleigh has the most home runs, 39 home runs. All right. So that is really, the big rookie of the year. And then, you can read these articles, this is from Sports Collectors Daily. This is from July 23rd, 2025. James Wood cards worth watching as young Nats look to future. But then it starts out, this first little graph. The Washington Nationals are not the worst team in baseball. Well, they're not much better. And I know they have a handful of rookies on their team, And, right here, these are some of their bigger players. James Wood, Mackenzie Gore, C.J. Abrams, and Robert Hassel III, But they're not really making many gains on that team, to be honest. Like it says here, Wood is a 6'7", 235-pound left fielder who will be one of baseball's superstars over the next decade. Well, we can't guarantee that. I have read that so many times over my lifetime. We can't guarantee that, okay? It's hard to imagine that Wood is just 22. He has been on the radar for years, especially in Washington, where he plays for his hometown team. All right, there he is. But what is about James Wood? I mean, he's not very magnetic now, is he? I mean, people aren't flocking to him like, say, Paul Skeens, for the most part, like, say, last year, for Rookie of the Year. Yeah, he is hitting good. But maybe there's something about James Wood that, for one reason, he's just not, attracting collectors, attracting, fans like other players. So I'm not sure what the story is there. But, he's clearly, for hitting, the biggest standout of, the class of 2025. But then we hit, the sales trends by players from Gem Rate. And that just came out recently. This is on Instagram. And what gets me is looking at this chart. And this is, sales trends by player taken from eBay. Okay. You can see the little V line. It's always Michael Jordan at the top of the list. First half sales, $28,709,594. That's great, But come on, guys. Now, I understand, this need to flock to great players. But it would be nice to see, like, say, the top 5, top 10 on this list change, I'm always seeing Michael Jordan at the top of the list. Now, you have to look at, let's look at the top 10. And let's just go by sport for top 10. Basketball, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, of the top 10, 5 are basketball players. You have Michael Jordan, Victor Wembanyama, Kobe Bryant, Caitlin Clark, LeBron James. Okay. For baseball, top 10, what do we have? 1, 2. Shohei Ohtani and Mickey Mantle. Shohei Ohtani's number 2. Mickey Mantle is number 9. Okay. Football. We have 1, 2, 3. We have Jaden Daniels, number 3. We have Patrick Mahomes, number 8. And then we have Tom Brady in the number 10 spot. Okay, so 3. So there's not much love for baseball. Let's be honest here. Yeah, for Shohei Ohtani, for current players. But Mickey Mantle? Seriously? So there's obviously some disconnect or burnout when it comes to baseball cards, which, baseball cards are typically, the bread and butter of sports cards, Now, we can keep cycling down here to number 12. We have Aaron Judge. Number 13, we have Paul Skeens. But, as I keep going down, Ken Griffey Jr., I'm just hitting baseball. And then, so Ken Griffey Jr. is number 17. Ellie De La Cruz is number 25. Willie Mays is number 26. Number 31, 32, 33. Mike Trout, Nolan Ryan, Hank Aaron. And we hit number 36, Babe Ruth. And then, really about the only rookie that's on this whole list is Jack Caglianone, or I call him Jack Caglianone, number 37. And it shows his line is going up, we can keep going down here. Roberto Clemente, number 38. Derek Jeter, and number 39. We have number 44, Jackie Robinson. Number 45, Jackson Churio. And number 50, Pete Crow Armstrong. That's it. That's it for baseball. So in the top 25 for the top three sports, well, football and basketball are tied. Baseball's last on this list. Third. Well, it's not last. I mean, you have to put everything else, behind baseball, hockey, whatever. There isn't much hockey on here. For hockey, all you have is one player. That's really a big hit for hockey, isn't it? Wayne Gretzky. I mean, and he's at number 40. So, I mean, overwhelmingly, it is dominated by basketball, football, and then baseball, and then hockey. So why aren't people loving baseball? That's just it. Now, we can hit some of these other numbers here, sales trends by player, first half of 2025 and June 2025. Okay. Highest sales volume. Well, Michael Jordan, 28.7 million. Shohei Ohtani with 20.3 million. Jaden Downs with 17.6 million. Victor Wembanyama with 13.5 million. Kobe Bryant with 12.7 million. I'm not sure how Victor Wembanyama is getting the dollars that he is, because he really doesn't have a lot to show for anything, And June momentum sports increases. Kobe Bryant up 646,000. Jacob Mizorowski, up 606,000. Jack Caglianone up 443,000, which, he's the best rookie chase, obviously, for baseball. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander at 422,000. I mean, he just won a championship, And then we have Lamine Yamal, soccer player, up 398,000. Now, who is decreasing here? Anthony Edwards just dropped 850,000. Michael Jordan dropped 402,000, even though he's topped the list. Jalen Brunson dropped 395,000. So for decreases, basketball, Anthony Edwards, Michael Jordan, Jalen Brunson. Then for baseball, we have Pete Rose minus 323,000 and Aaron Judge minus 320,000. But overall, we can see that, Pete Rose and Aaron Judge, for decreases for baseball, that's dragging down the market for one reason or another. And yeah, Shohei Ohtani, has a lot of momentum. I mean, yeah, he's number 2 on the list. But then a lot of the other players, they're just not doing much. Like look at the Ellie De La Cruz, at number 25. Yeah, he's top 25, but his cards are dropping in value. Paul Skeens' sales are really dropping. Aaron Judge's are kind of going up. But there's definitely a willingness to just ignore the rookie class of 2025, Unless it's number 37, Jack Caglianone. His cards are going up. But everybody else, James Wood, these other names that they've been hyping up, they're nowhere to be found. And I think it comes to, the high prices on, say, Topps Chrome Baseball. I think people are just getting burned out of baseball products, the way that Topps releases them, the same stuff, same tired cards every year. Everyone, yay! And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like people are getting just tired of it. And that's why I wish that, Topps Fanatics didn't hold the monopoly on baseball cards. And now sports like they do is, I think that what Topps Fanatics does is it creates, sports card hobby fatigue. It's tough to get excited for Topps Chrome Baseball. You see the big, massive prices on it. You know that the rookie class just doesn't have much interest. We see that there's kind of a tired method of people purchasing sports cards. It's like, you can try and get excited for players and you can hope that their cards are really going to blow up. But then you always have the Michael Jordan cards, doing what they do, And Michael Jordan's been out of the league for so long. I mean, if I have sports card hobby fatigue, I'll be honest here. It's probably from Michael Jordan cards. I mean, it's like they just keep getting crammed down my throat all the time. Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan. Yeah, I started watching him in 1983, when he was in college. And, he was a big name then. And, yeah, he's still a big name. But come on, guys. Can we, maybe I'd like to see Shohei Ohtani at the top of the list, I mean, or somebody else, Steph Curry, somebody besides Michael Jordan, and overall basketball cards, they don't sell a lot, I mean, I pulled my basketball cards, for the most part off of eBay, and I started getting better sales, with all my other sports, because those basketball cards just will typically always drag you down. I have a lot of Michael Jordan cards, but I can relate to sports card hobby burnout. I really can. I'm too deep involved in it, that I can't really get burnt out. But you look at the list for sales here, you see that Pokemon cards are still just blowing up overall. Sports cards, I don't know what to say about baseball cards, I mean, when you go over the numbers, when you go over the rookie class of 2025, when you look at a lot of these sports card prices, when you see how the monopolies have really just, taken over, I tend to believe that is why we're experiencing, sports card burnout to an extent. It's been eclipsed by Pokemon for a lot of reasons. So if you have any different opinions on it, leave some comments. Thank you to my subscribers and my subscriber base overall. You're the reason I keep doing these shows. And if you're a viewer and if you haven't subscribed, I know these viewers don't like to click that subscribe button for one reason or another, but you'd really help the channel out. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. I'm out of here. Bye.